You are now watching M.O.D Entertainment. Make sure you subscribe and check out the playlist.
Low, 6 flow, blue rag lopes, shave head creased up, sporting flat nose. The OG way, what you knew about that West Coast? The OG way, what you knew about that West Coast? Low, 6 flow, blue rag lopes, shave head creased up, sporting flat nose. The OG way, what you knew about that West Coast? The OG way, what you knew about that West Coast? Gang capital in Cali, we some animals. No remorse and no mercy, just like cannibals. So play your cards right, and that was picture cantaloupe. And we'll hit you anywhere just like catapults. Es un desmadre, but forever I'll hold down the throne. We were raised, homie, brought up to be real lokes. When we were raised, brought up, homie, to be real lokes. When we were raised, brought up, homie, to be real lokes. Low, 6 flow.
G-File.
Now, starting off right here, the oldest neighborhood, the largest, the one that you definitely hear about. They're very well respected, definitely put in work. A neighborhood that law enforcement definitely has a hard time containing. These guys are just, they got the reputation on me, you know what I mean? Which is the Orange Barrio Cypress. I got a good camarada, my camarada Termite, Hormiga, um, and Blue from Barrio Cypress, who are just feeding me camaradas. They're witted, they're down, they with the business, homie. You know, them vatos are definitely ruthless. You know what I mean? You can find the Cypress neighborhood right there by um Kilfair Park, um by um Collins and Glassell, by Levita, throughout those outskirts, so everything that's in the middle is what's considered their neighborhood, which is a large chunk of territory, you know what I mean? This neighborhood's been around since the 30s, definitely putting in work, homie. Like, these guys is a neighborhood that you definitely hear about. You can't even say you don't, you know what I mean? Like, these fools been putting it on the map for a cool minute, you know what I'm saying? And, they definitely be, doing their thing, homie. That area be definitely active, going at it with the surrounding neighborhoods. Like their, arch rivals right there, the Orange County Criminals. Because the areas stay so close to each other. But you know, that's what's up with the Cypress right there. Definitely put it on the map. Shout out to my camaradas. You know what I mean? And right there representing and holding it down for the barrio. Here in the city of Orange, we have the Orange County Criminals, the OCC, so not to be confused with Cypress. This neighborhood has been around here for a cool minute already, you know what I mean? Not as large as its, rival, the Cypress, but nonetheless, they be holding down their own right there, and putting in work, because at one time they were large, but, due to racketeering and all that, the neighborhood is not as large as it used to be. But nonetheless, man, they have put in their work, and I won't be speaking on the member Ghost and his background, or um or what they say about him and stuff like that. That's not for me to speak on that, you know what I mean? But this neighborhood, does have its writers that be right there representing by Highland, by Lincoln, Palmyra, by East Harrow Park. I think that's how you say that park. But the Orange County Criminals, they right there, they put in work. You definitely hear about them, like you know, they do kick it off, and they be right there representing for their neighborhood. Now here you have the Latin boys, the LTB, roughly small neighborhood. Their territory is what's Flower to Washington to Maine and to Civic Center. So everything in the middle is what's considered their neighborhood. Um, they haven't been around for that long, but nonetheless, they're right there representing it. No, they do not have no connection to the Latin Kings. I was seeing a few people talking about that these are the youngsters of the. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's the Latin boys, just different neighborhoods, just you know what I mean. But that's what's up with the Latin boys right there. Now here you also have Southside Huntington Beach. Yes, Huntington Beach does has neighborhoods. It's not a white area like people say it is. You know what I mean? I know, like I said, there's plenty of times right here before. Do not let the area deceive you, homie. Like, just because something looks nice don't mean shit, homie. Like, this shit gets cracking. Now these homies right here, Southside, Huntington Beach, is known as Los Players. That's the clique which they're known for. I've been around since the 70s used to be a car club that turned into a neighborhood. You know what I mean? Now their neighborhood is what's right there on Tolbert and Warner and Beach Boulevard. So everything in the middle is what's considered their neighborhood, but the heart of their neighborhood is right there on Slaughter. That's the heart of their neighborhood. You know, like their dojo, their main spot, you know what I mean? Home base, where they definitely keep it active. This neighborhood, like I said, it is large, like you definitely hear about them. Like these guys ain't no chumps, they got, Huntington Beach on lockdown is the largest neighborhood in Huntington Beach, you know what I mean? So they definitely be putting in work right there, there's some cats that you definitely see the activity from and that you definitely hear about putting it down, on their side, right there, representing for their water right there. Now, right here in Costa Mesa, you also have the Familia Mob, one of the largest neighborhoods right here in Costa Mesa. Definitely be holding it down. Definitely be representing. You know, they get it popping, homie. Like there's several gangs right here, but this is probably the one that it's like most known. Next to the little town, but like these guys, you definitely hear about them, and they definitely be doing their thing. Here you also have Forming Chaos, FK. Used to be a tank crew that became a neighborhood. Now I can't confirm that it became a neighborhood, but that's what they say. That's what they write. That's what they put. So like that's what's up with the Forming Chaos right there. 13, putting it on the map right there in Costa Mesa, and doing their thing. Now here you have the largest neighborhood in Costa Mesa, which is Little Town. This neighborhood is definitely well known, well respected. They have a gang of riders. It's one of those neighborhoods that you definitely hear about. That these guys ain't playing, homie. Like you come over here tripping, homie. Like shit's gonna be cracking. And like I said, Little Town is different from small town to different neighborhoods. Have no connection, nothing in common, nothing like that. You know what I mean? It's just one little town, one small town, but it's two different hoods. This neighborhood is, it's its own hood in itself. They're right there on Victoria and Harbor and 18th Street and Placenta. So everything in the middle, it's what's considered their barrio, which is a large chunk in territory. Um, even though they share their like kind of their territory with the Fearless crowd. This neighborhood is the largest, the deepest, and the one that you do hear about. And they definitely be putting in work and putting their neighborhood up on the map. Shout out to my homie Sadboy from Littletown, and shout out to the homie Bones from Littletown, and shout out to all the homies from Littletown that be right there representing, putting their neighborhood on the map. Now here you have the Fearless crowd. Now the Fearless crowd is a neighborhood that definitely puts in work. You definitely hear about them. Like they be doing their thing in their own neighborhood. They're not actually calling nobody or nothing like that. Like they do their own thing. They're their own separate neighborhood and all that. Um, and they with the business, homie. They be right there keeping it active. Now their neighborhood is right there. What's on Pomona, to 18th Street to Park Avenue. So everything that's in the middle, even on 19th Street is what's considered their neighborhood. You could even catch them posted at Lion Park. But yeah, they right there definitely representing it and putting their neighborhood on the map, homie. These homies, have some riders right there representing for their neighborhood and like the homie Scrappy, And yeah, that's what's up with them, and they definitely right there putting it on the map. Now right here in Fountain Valley, you have the largest neighborhood, which is the Colonia Juarez, neighborhood. This neighborhood is old school. Like the barrio in itself, was been around since the 30s, but the gang in itself, since the 60s. The swamp has, is what it is known as. The swamp area. Now the neighborhood is right there. What's Brookhurst and Slaughter to Ward to Warner. So everything that's in the middle is what's considered the Colonia Juarez neighborhood. Now, even though it's not as large as it used to be, because it was large at one point and everything like that, but due to gentrification, racketeering, and the whole works, you know, they're roughly more smaller. You roughly don't see them as up as much as you used to, but nonetheless, homie, this neighborhood is well rooted and well, respected, and they definitely do their thing right there and holding it down and putting their barrio definitely on the map.